Hey, I'm Snyder from SnyderSunshineArtStudio.com, here to share with you another series of bows. I had a prior video where I stated I was going to show you a series of bows, and I only showed two, and then I cut the video off. So here we are with the second part here, and I know in that video I had discussed how we started with the knot of the bow. Now, interestingly, my daughter, who is 10, has never enjoyed bows or buttons. I don't understand that. I've always enjoyed bows and buttons. So in the prior video, we started with this knot, and we have ovals, and we have curvy squares, circles. I don't know what you think about bows and buttons out there in the audience, but something to think about, right? And then we have a rectangular knot. Alright, so we have four different knots, excuse me. 4 different knots. I always thought bows were fun. I enjoyed trying to figure out how to tie bows in my shoelaces. Yeah. And then bows in my hair, bows on my clothing. I don't have any problem with it, but my daughter does. So we have this oval knot, and we're going to create this trapezoid like we did in the prior video, but this time we're going to tuck it in like it's been indented. Alright, just like that. Okay, and then we can have the ribbon part come out, and we have our bow. Okay. With a circular one here, I was thinking of like the shoelaces. So if I come around with a really long oval, and then I come in, and I'm actually going to go around this way. So I'm cutting through the original oval and then coming around. Yeah, that was a bit tricky, wasn't it? I'll do it over here. Long oval. Okay, got long oval. And then I'm going to come in the inside. Shoelaces are narrow. Coming around. And then like halfway through, I'm going to cut through. Kind of make it a straight, and then it's curving around to make that. And then inside here, give it its buddy line for the laces to come down. We could even add a little plastic thing on the end. Alright, so unfortunately, as I'm filming this, my son, who is 12, enjoys playing his games on his device, Roblox, and I know I don't say that right, and Minecraft with his friends. And so you might hear him in the background. Until I figure out how to edit his voice out, that's going to happen. If you have any ideas on that, please, by all means, share with me how to edit his voice out. Alright, so we have our shoelaces with little plastic ends and my little stories about my children. Alright, so we made this one, we made that one. Now I was thinking of a droopy bow. Alright, so droopy bow, so we're going to come over. The bow's kind of drooping down, sagging, so sagging bow. And its ends are coming straight down. It's kind of sad. It looks kind of like puppy dog ears, floppy puppy dog ears. And we're going to have the inside, we're going to have the inside up here showing. I'm going to do it like that. Yep. And then I was thinking of like a double bow. So if I go, we use any of the bows and make a double bow. So we're just drawing behind. And then let's see this how to go up like here. Okay, now that I did all that, let's Sharpie it up so you can actually see everything. So, this one here reminds me of like a star. I mentioned it's like it was pushed in. The knot might be a little too big. Okay. You can add those little things in there. And the shoelace. Okay. And droopy bow. I'm a droopy bow. Multiple decorative kind of bow. Little ribbon streamers here. All right. So next, we can add some indication of shading here. I'm using a Sharpie, so I would just thicken up some lines. That's one way. So call that some weighted line, which helps with shading. You can also do some hatching. And then we add some cross hatching to show that value. So it makes that bow looks like it's coming forward and that's behind it. So I'll turn this, it works better for my hand if I turn it. Okay. Hatching, cross hatching, weighted line creates the illusion of 3 dimensions. Highlights where we don't put anything. That looks lovely. We get the amazing eraser in place. We erase, we grab a color, and we can color it in. Where I have the darker lines, I could press a little harder with my colored pencil. Gives that illusion of depth. Taking the shape and turning it into more of an illusion to 3 dimensions around this. So when I was thinking about these bows, I was like thinking of all the animals I always have students draw and how they want to add bows to their ears or their hair or something. So it's always a thought. All right, so now I was thinking of just erasing here and then using a pencil Yeah, I don't have my drafting brush. Prior videos, you've seen me use my drafting brush. Even a small dustpan with a brush would be helpful to get rid of the eraser bits. I said a pencil, didn't I? Alright, so the idea here is that shoelaces usually have some kind of texture to them. So I'm using this little, looks kind of like a check mark, chevron shape. Which makes it look like zigzag. The texture of a shoelace. Now that I'm thinking of this, thinking about that droopy bow, and the shoelace could have been droopy too. You just need to draw it down. That would make more sense, right? Now I'm thinking of X's as I'm finishing this up. So straight lines in some way give the indication of the texture of a shoelace. So as mentioned, I have a daughter who is 10 and a son who is 12. In addition to that, I have a husband, and most of the time, the most noisiest one is my son when he's on his computer with his friends. But then there's my husband. He likes to make his own set of noises. And as a teacher, and if you're a teacher watching this, or even a parent, you totally will understand what I'm talking about here. If all day you're teaching and you're around children who make noises that aren't needed, and you come home and have family members who do the same thing, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Oh well. I love them, and that's what really matters. They are wonderful. They make my life full of exciting things. You know what's absolutely amazing with my children and my husband is they will listen to me when I have things to share. You know, when people listen to you, it really does matter. I hope you have someone who listens to you when you're talking. Well, A.M. Snyder keeps drifting off into her own thoughts and verbalizing them as I'm drawing. That is how relaxed art can be. It just starts to make you reflect on things as you're working. And by doing that, it's relaxing. It really is. So I'm just erasing all the pencil lines on these before I move forward. But you can see with the shoelace, the concept of using short lines that are overlapping, chevron, X's. Zigzags. Zigzags give you a texture. So now my thought process with these other two were to somehow make them look a little extra decorative with added shapes or lines, polka dots. Now, if you're a kid and you're watching this and you understand what gaming's all about, you'll know why my son is out there saying spam click it. I honestly don't really know what that means other than the fact that he's probably hitting the button a lot in order to get something accomplished in his game, which I think is quite funny. So now this one here, I was thinking of doing stripes. Notice that my dots are not all close together. I varied some of the sizes as well, and they're well spaced out. I could also add one here. Stripes. So add a stripe. Add dull Sharpie there. Let's add some darker lines in here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did up here. I'm just going to add some darkness here. So in addition to 2 children and a husband, we have 2 cats. If you watched the how to draw a Christmas stocking video, you will have seen at the end of that video my daughter, who was going by Meowsers in that video, prior video she was going by LS, she wanted to get the cat in the video, and I had to edit some of that. So that video was a bit much, and at the end she finally got our Blitzy cat in there. But right now the Ruthie cat is at the door, and she's deciding to make some noise as well. Alright, so we have some stripes going across the knot as well. And then we can color those in, right? I'm going to use some yellow. And I am thinking of red with that. Very festive. And this one's behind the other one, so I'm going to try to make it look darker. And then because the yellow is light, it really doesn't matter what you do. But going back to the original video, start off dark, then it's going to go light, and then it's going to be dark. So, as I'm filming this video, it is the end of our Christmas break for 2024, and the new year is about to come. And tomorrow is the official last day of 2024, and so I'm thinking bows are great for packages. You know, 2025 seems like a new year, new gift to open. New adventures ahead. New things to overcome and to learn from. New knowledge to gain. And the bow is the starting point to unwrap that new year. What do you think? Am I thinking too deeply about it? Just maybe. Alright, well, we're going to bring this video to a close here. I'm sure you could figure out how to color your own polka dotted bow. And again, you can always take these little things, or not so little actually, these are quite big, but you can make them smaller and add them to whatever else you are drawing. So, as mentioned, my daughter likes cats. So if I were to start with that little bow, and we have it right there. She definitely wouldn't have a bow on her kitty cat, but then you have the ear, and then the other ear. Kitty comes around, and we have kitty, kitty cat. No nose. And my son. As mentioned, we must bring this video to an end. I've enjoyed working through this with you. I hope that you have enjoyed working through it with me. I did not pre-plan my kitty cat, so my kitty cat looks a little odd, but you get the concept here. You can take it and draw little bows and decorate your animals. Yeah, just like that. I have to keep going now. That's what happens. A.M. Snyder starts to make something and then I have to keep going. I have enjoyed sharing how to draw multiple bows with you and how you can apply them to the ears of animals, because that's what I see a lot of children do. Until next time, I request that you check out more things by me at my Teachers Pay Teachers store, my website at snydersunshineartstudio.com, and that you subscribe, you like, and you follow me, because that helps me to continue moving forward my creativity and helping you to shine some creativity into your life. Your life. I really like this bow the more I look at it. I hope you like it too. Until next time, A.M. Snyder says, Happy New Year.